Hey there, happy Monday. Welcome back to the Daily Fight. My name is Robyn Tanner, and today man, it's been a year. I don't know if you are in the season of having a year. Oftentimes we set out, right? Like the thing to do is this word of the year, or your word of the month, or we set these intentions. I don't know if people still do New Year's resolutions, but you always set out with what you want the year to look like, what your desires are, what your dreams are. And oftentimes, I have found that a lot of women that I've worked with is that we tie so many justifications and explanations to what it is that we want. So I don't think I really have a theme for the day, but I want you to know that you just get to want what you want because you want it. It's like be the toddler in the store throwing the damn tantrum. Do you remember those days? Do you remember when you did it as a kid? Do you remember when, you could walk into Target or any store at any given moment, and there's probably a kid in there crying or begging its parent for a toy on the shelf. The teenage daughter doing the back to school clothes shopping with their mom. Like, you just are allowed to be a kid, to be the toddler, to be your inner child, and just want what you want because you want it. I've been going to counseling this year. I have been with my counselor for more than 7 years, on and off. And I think that this should be a normal thing. I think that everybody should have a counselor or a therapist and a coach. I think it should just be weaved into your budget, weaved into your schedule, weaved into your mental health, your physical health, because they're all connected. We compartmentalize so many things. And my RTX method, my transformation method for people to lose the weight, to keep it off. I have kept off 43 pounds for more than 25 plus years. Like, I have consistently achieved things, even though not at the pace that I want or the level that I want. But I'm still working on it. And it's because I connect the pieces of your spiritual, your emotional, your mental, and your physical fitness. And each one of those represents a different piece for me of your characters and your beliefs and your attitudes. And often I figured out this year in going to counseling, and now he knows me very, very well. He has seen my highs and my lows and my struggles, and on and off over the past 7 years, he has really helped me witness myself. And when I say that is, he has allowed me to give myself permission to be who I am, to continue to keep striving and overcome and deal with the things that I didn't think that I needed to deal with, because I'm this tough, relentless force of nature that didn't have this like major catastrophic childhood trauma, but I have been through several upheavals in my life, major deconstructions, beginning in childhood, throughout my teenage years, in my 20s, in my 30s, and in my 40s. And he has really allowed me lately to realize I don't have to keep justifying what it is that I want or the desires. I don't have to keep attaching my desires to some type of stewardship or service, that my relationships and friendships, which are really honestly non-existent right now. And I say this really because my podcast, The Daily Fight, is about the woman on the rise, and I am on the rise. I will be the best-selling author. I will be the multimillionaire, the first in my family to break this middle class, you have just enough curse. And I know that's like, some white girl problem or something. I come from a good family. We never went without, but there's beyond that I'm responsible for. There is a generation that maybe I never meet that I'm responsible for being the first to do several things and just being able to do them because I want to do them. That I am the keynote speaker and that I am the coach that is sought after to help women do their damn dreams and live the life that they want and stop settling and putting themselves last. I was raised by a mom. I was raised by two moms. One is no longer with us. And the other one is dying right now of dementia, and it's a horrible disease. It's absolutely just horrible prison for everybody involved. And she sacrificed her dream. She wanted to be an architect. She sacrificed what she wanted, for the sake of her children, and I'm forever grateful for that. But we need to stop settling, and we need to stop tying everything that we want to other people. So your business, your dreams, the vacations you want to take, down to the damn purse that you want to buy. I'm not a purse person, but that just came out of my mouth. But that you don't have to tie it to a bigger purpose. You don't have to explain it. You don't have to justify it. You get to be the toddler in the store wanting what you want just because you want it. Now, That doesn't go without saying that you're going to have to work to get it. You're going to have to earn it. You're going to have to create the money, or you're going to have to go to a job and do a job and be responsible and honor your obligations in order to receive those things and create those things and make those things so that you get to have them and enjoy them. And I am not a materialistic person. I have lost pretty much everything that I've owned. I have had to start over multiple times in my life. And yes, some of them were by choice, and some of them well, all of them were by choice, because I believe that everything that we do is a choice. But some of them were choices that I chose on purpose. Others were survival, mechanisms and coping mechanisms that I know now from going to counseling that were not healthy, but they were things that I did to survive and get by and do what I had to do to get to the next stage, or to make, to save me and my kids from something, or to, make it to the next paycheck, or to make it to the next month, or, to make it through the next doctor appointment, or we could go on and on and on. And I'm sure there's somewhere in your life where you have made decisions just to get by, that you've made decisions to justify the things that you want, or, you have kept yourself quiet because you're scared of what other people might think. When I say out loud, I'm going to be a multimillionaire this time next year, mark it down, July 25th, 2024. If you don't like that I'm saying that, if that offends you, if you're a Christian and you think that's wrong, go ahead and unfollow me, unsubscribe, delete me, block me, do whatever you want, because it's not about the money. It's about what the money represents, but it is also about the money, because I have been in this pattern of, I want these things because it's time for me to take on the role of being the breadwinner, of providing, of being the first in my generation, in my family, in my bloodline, and the family that I've created with my own kids and my second marriage, to do the things to give the other people life, that it is no longer about me. But when I can release that I want these things because I want them. Nobody wants to walk into a restaurant and you look at the menu, and then you look at the price, and you can only order certain things. You know exactly what I'm talking about. And we have gone, I think the most we've ever spent on a dinner, I shared this last year, was like $683 or something. And it was so well worth it. And it was so amazing. And we got to do it just because we wanted to do it. And we do it every single year. We haven't done it this year yet, but I'm sure it's coming. And I share these things with you so openly and vulnerably and transparent, opening to being rejected and judged. But you get to want what you want. If you want to go buy a $300 purse, buy a $300 purse and own it. Don't say it was on sale. Don't say you earned the money for it. Don't say you're allowed to want what you want, because you and your desire alone is enough. And while that is a way deeper podcast, my point for this one is just to hopefully give somebody permission to say these things out loud, that you can have those desires. Now, they may not happen on your timeline. It may take a lot of grit and sweat and blood and sacrifice and compromise and learning and growing and stretching and, to get those things, to get to that level. And that's okay. But you don't have to keep justifying what you want. Be the toddler in the store. Tell people what you want. Explain it like I just did. Speak it into existence. I learned that so many years ago, about 9 years ago, that when you speak these things out loud, and when you put it out there, it's going to come back to you in a way that makes it real, that allows it to be okay just because it is, not because it's attached to your children or your why or your mission or your business or the empire that you're building and the legacy, or because it's tied to your great grandma, or it's because you owe so-and-so something because of whatever they did for you 3 years ago, or it's for the church, or it's for the homeless, or it's for the rescuing of the animals. I want to do all of these things too, and in my own way I do them. There's more ways. And I'm not just talking about money here. You could desire to want to go have an animal sanctuary on a farm in Montana when you used to want a sailboat and live on the beach all of the time. I don't know who we're talking about with that one. But the struggle isn't in the thing that you want. The struggle isn't even in the journey to get there, and the discipline and all the logic and all the intellect and all the wisdom and all the learning and all the asking and the receiving of the help. The struggle is actually in allowing yourself to just want it because you want it. And as soon as you allow that and you strip that layer down and you shed that and you start to revel in that and believe in that and breathe that in and make it alive, That's the struggle. That's the work, because we often shrink ourselves and downplay it and shy away and settle. And if you didn't take my quit zone quiz yet, please go do that. Is robyntanner.com/quit quiz. And that is QUIT quiz, the quit quiz, because there's some areas in our life, and it is a phase and it is a cycle where we will cycle through settling and suffering and survival mode and second guessing ourselves and constantly questioning and self-doubting ourselves. And then we find ourselves starting over again and again. And I think that's just a form of us quitting on ourselves because we don't have the gold balls to actually say the thing that we want, which for me right now is my mission. Yes, it is to help people rise up. It is to help women who feel like they don't fit in anywhere else, who have dealt with some pain and who have some adversity in their life, but who also want to use it. There's a lot of people that don't want to use their pain. They don't want to use their challenges and turn them into strengths. They don't want to do anything with the stuff, with the mess that they have. They don't want to do anything with it. They want to sit in it. They want to just keep it hidden, or they want to be a victim to it, or they want to take it to the grave with them. And that's totally cool. You are not my people. I'm not here to convince anybody to do anything with your pain, but I've got enough of it built up inside of me that I have got to let it breathe. I don't want that life trapped inside of me. And my book, The Machete Mentality, talks about this extensively. I want every woman that crosses my path, that hears my voice, that reads a word, that coaches with me, that she doesn't settle, that she speaks up, that she rises into who she is made to be right now, just right now. And that she works on creating and becoming who she's meant to be while loving who she is now and honoring who she used to be. Because that, my friends, is what is going to help you make this person who you are today, showing up today, listening to this today, be stronger, have conviction in what it is that you're doing, and be unapologetic about your desires and your dreams and your goals. Be unapologetic about your choices and your mistakes and take ownership for it. That, my friend, is a power, that is an energy that flows through you into other people. And when you start showing up like that, that your desires are yours and they are enough, you walk into other rooms and sit at other tables and you do things that affect people in such a positive way that you won't even realize that you are on this planet to change somebody else's life. And that is who I'm trying to help. And that is what I represent. And I just, on this Monday, I want to get that off and out of my chest, that these are the things that I'm trying to do in my life just because I want them. The little girl in me wants them. The teenager in me wants them. The badass in me wants them. The warrior, the resilient woman, the hurt woman, the woman that's been through trauma, the woman that's in pain, she wants them all. The Tigger in me wants them. The fighter in me wants them. That motivational, that hopeless romantic writer wants them. And you, I think you have these different identities in you too. So let your toddler out. Let your toddler out of its little cage. Let them run around Target. Go try it today. Go walk into any store you want. And again, this isn't about material items. This could be vacations. This could be you speaking up at work and sharing your ideas just because you want them, or you want to change the path of the job that you're doing and try it a different way. Like, you're allowed to quit. You're allowed to change your mind. You're allowed to pivot. You're allowed to U-turn just because you decided you want to. But you have to decide that you are done bottling up that little toddler inside. Let it out. Ain't nobody around. Let it out, let it breathe, and let it tell you what it wants. And start listening to that, to get some ideas, to journal in it, to do the deep work, to meditate on that, and to breathe that in so that you start showing up, acting on the desires of your heart, because you are enough. I tell you right now and tell you, this is something that I never thought that I would have to struggle with. Worthiness, being enough. But it is, through counseling, I've learned that this has been, I don't think it's a problem, but it's been one of my weaknesses. And I'll throw myself into the gym, and I'll throw myself into helping and serving the people that come to me, that want to pay me to coach them and mentor them and be their leader on this rise. But I've realized that in honoring that and not trying to resist against it anymore or think it's too woo-woo for me, because it's not, and that it doesn't diminish my strength. It doesn't diminish my tough exterior. It doesn't diminish who I am, that I'm independent and determined and strong and forceful and unyielding and resilient and all of those things that I am. Also knowing that there's a side of me that is still hurting, that is still healing, that is still trying to figure out the mess of some of the things that I did, some of the things that I witnessed, some of the things that I experienced, some of the things that I've tried. And that both of those things together can work together spiritually, emotionally, mentally, and physically so that I can release the desires of my heart, work towards the desires of my heart, and not have to attach it to everything, even though I know it is attached to my kids and making sure that every woman that comes into contact with me doesn't settle. She does rise up, which, by the way, you want to get on my wait list for the Rise if it isn't already launched, because I have been sitting on this baby for 7, almost 8 months, and I've got to give birth to it. But that, yes, those things are important. Yes, the impact's important. Yes, the influence is important. Yes, the higher meaning attached to it is important. But what is most important is knowing that just because I want it is enough, and that I get to have it. That God wants me to have those things, that God sees my heart, knows my heart, trusts my heart, that I'm going to do good with it, that I'm going to do right by it, that I can handle it. And I think you can handle it too. But in order to handle it and mature to that level, you've got to let the acceptance in that it might look different and that it might feel different at first, and that it is hard at first to give yourself that permission. But once you do, it's a gift that is liberating and you can breathe. And that's the first step. So be the toddler today, throw a tantrum and see what it says and see what you find out about yourself. And then DM me or comment and let me know what it is. What did your toddler tell you about yourself? What are the things that your toddler wants? Right? What the image I just got in my head is remember when they used to let you have the shopping cart and it was filmed on TV? I'm really speaking my Gen X years right now. And you got to go in and do, like, you had 10 minutes to go around the store and put everything into your shopping cart that you wanted, which actually leads me into the storefront, which is going to be my message for tomorrow. And you could put whatever you wanted in your shopping cart, right? Anything that you wanted, no questions asked. And you had X amount of dollars, or X amount of time, and it was unlimited. I want you to do that exercise, in your mind and write it out. If you won that gift that you could just have anything that you wanted, what would you give your toddler? I hope this helps somebody today. Give yourself that gift and the permission to have what you want just because you want it and you're enough. Peace out.